in the regular season, the Nuggets were the best team in the conference. They have a tremendous home court advantage. They had the best player in the conference, almost certainly. And yet, despite that, they're not a particularly big favorite because there is something about the way playoff basketball works where now that the Lakers are fully healthy for now, and presumably going to be healthy at least for the first couple games of this series, like the sum of their parts was never going to work in a regular season. Everyone's too injury prone. LeBron had plantar fasciitis. Davis like steps wrong and he, breaks something and he's out forever. But like fully formed, their rating might actually be better than Denver. And I actually think, injuries are going to be a part of handicapping the series a little bit. If you told me like everyone's going to be good the whole time, I don't even know what that would mean. Everyone would play their normal amount of minutes the whole time, I guess. If you just told me that, I'd really like the Lakers at this price. I haven't bet the series yet. I just think I think there are things about Denver that are awesome in the regular season and can work against Minnesota and can work against half of Phoenix. And like, that's great. And this is different than that. And I think the Lakers are going to ask a lot of interesting questions of Denver, and maybe Denver has the answers. And that would be interesting if they did. I don't think they do. And I don't think we're going to know that until we play, whether they have the answers to those questions. But I don't think they do. And I think the Lakers are going to win the series more often than the market does. Somebody could get hurt. Something could happen. I do like the Lakers in the series. I'm surprised how much I like them in the series, actually.
Ah, man, I want to be pro Nuggets so bad, but this price doesn't really give you any room to do that. I saw it open up in the minus 125, minus 130 range at some spots, and I was a little let's give this some thought. Let's think about it. Let's do a little bit more research before we get involved here. And I blink, and it's now like minus 160, minus 163. So I think the ship has sailed to bet the Nuggets to win the series, and I think realistically this is going to be another hard fought head to head here. Mark it again, thinking this goes in 5, maybe 6. 7 does not seem out of the realm of possibility here. Over 5.5 games seems like a realistic expectation. And again, that's minus 200-ish in terms of price point. So it's not the best bet in the world. But I do think this will be a long and hard fought series where the best player in the series is clearly Nikola Jokic, and his offensive kind of dynamism is, so spectacular that I really don't know what the Lakers really will be able to do to stop him. So I think that most of these games are going to turn into, team to 120 wins, at which point, we've seen the Lakers lean into pace at times. They did it early in the series against Memphis. It worked tremendously well for them in terms of advantage. And then similarly, early in the series against the Golden State Warriors, they played into pace. So at least for this moment, over 222.5 in game 1 is my favorite way to attack this one. And I think if you're going to get 6.5 points with the Lakers, you're going to have to think hard about it, because these are going to be pretty close games down the wire, I would expect. The Nuggets have defensive deficiencies that have not been exposed in these playoffs because they've been playing teams that have like fundamental flaws. Right, there were fundamental ways that you could defend the Phoenix Suns because of some of the options that they had on the floor for a lot of that series. Similarly with the Timberwolves, these are just incomplete, imperfect offensive systems that you could find ways to get the better of. And the Lakers aren't obviously that deficient offensively. They actually have role players who are doing their role exactly as asked. And for all those reasons, I think you have to give them a puncher's chance here. Squirt gun to head, as you would say, Nick. Nuggets in 7 for me. But I still think realistically there is a path here that the Lakers come out in some way, shape, or form, take a lead in the series. And, for whatever it's worth, we've seen them do it now twice where they've defended home court at the Crypt spectacularly well. So if they can steal one of the first 2, it's possible that, the shoes, this goes through the Lakers again.
Anthony Davis and LeBron James have basically the same price to win Western. There's like a first take segment turned into a betting market. If the Lakers win the series, who do you actually think is more likely to win that trophy here in like 20 seconds?
It's got to be Anthony Davis for me, because it's literally, if the Lakers win this series, it's going to be, they have found ways not only to really punish the Nuggets in the paint with their offense, but Anthony Davis is getting the better of Jokic 1v1, and he's the defensive chess piece that gets them through the next round. So Anthony Davis.
If we think a lot of different outcomes are possible. And like, we both think the Lakers will win the series, right? But maybe, LeBron is kind of feels his way through game one and the home court is insane and the Nuggets win and they roll. And then maybe the Lakers still win the series from there. But if all outcomes are possible, right? And the Lakers have had a number of days of rest here, right? After beating the Warriors in 6, I'll play the Lakers on the money line in game one. And maybe we get a similar result to what we saw game one at Memphis and game one at Golden State. So I think, Ken, what I'm going to do will be Miami plus the points, game one Wednesday night against the Celtics. And then I'll play the Lakers to win tomorrow night in game number 1, Tuesday night against Denver.
Yeah, I'm betting the Lakers to win the series. I'll do it before game one starts. Just kind of thinking Denver's going to get bet out a little bit more. And if that happens, maybe like an extra 5 or 10 cents here on the Lakers. And willing to be wrong. It's more just an opinion, but I love those series. I love series that are interesting because they kind of be like, they just ask you like, what do you value? Like, is it like that the team was a great regular season team? Or is it there's something about the difference between being a great postseason team and a regular season team? And to me, this Lakers team strikes me as a great postseason team. And the Nuggets team is unknown. Could be both, but was a great regular season team. I don't know if we know they're a great postseason team yet. I don't know if we know the answer to that yet.
We've got new merchandise up on our site, youbetteryouBetShop.com, partially designed by Ken Barkley and myself. For the people that are watching the show right now, if you're listening, I'm just going to describe these things because it is an audio medium. So I'll do my best to describe them. But if you're watching on video, you can actually see our new t-shirts. So we've got You Better You Bet After Dark, which is like the cigarette smoke trailing up. The Y in YBYB is like a martini glass, which is really great. YBYB After Dark in neon lighting. Absolutely love it. We've got Power Hour, Final Hour. The shirt has a clock on the front with dollar signs as the place of the numbers. Really inventive. It says Power Hour and Final Hour, which is really great. And then we've got Ken Barkley themed shirt, which is Choose Your Capper, with a bunch of hats that Ken Barkley likes to wear on the show. And Ken, we designed these shirts, so this is really great. YouBetterYouBetShop.com for all your You Better You Bet merch, and all the stuff that had previously been up on the site is there as well. T-shirts, long sleeve T-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, all your You Better You Bet needs, Ken, at YouBetterYouBetShop.com. Again, partially designed by you and me.
It was really funny to be on an email chain about, well, no, the After Dark, like it needs to involve like drinking and smoking, but like not in like a hyper aggressive way. And like, how do we execute that vision? Just like, these are not the kind of things that you imagine in your career, the types of email chains that you'll be on. Well, what if the smoke went into this? Like, what do I do for a living? What is this right now? What email chain is this? So that was good. That was an enjoyable one to be a part of for sure.
So YouBetterYouBetShop.com. Again, check out all your needs for You Better You Bet merchandise, YouBetterYouBetShop.com. T-shirts, long sleeve T-shirts, crew necks, hoodies, and more, and our new designs at YouBetterYouBetShop.com.